is surprising how many boot companies don't offer wide options for their boots. But when you start to talk to boot makers, you start to understand why. Because it's about lasts, right? If you don't already know this, boots are made with what are called lasts. They're like foot-shaped blocks of wood, usually, that they kind of build the shoe around. Like the last is what determines the fit, and every company closely guards the secret dimensions of their lasts. And creating a last is incredibly laborious, like way, way, way harder and more time-consuming than you would think it is, and it's really very expensive. And so creating a wide fit for your favorite boot starts the whole last building process all over again. And a lot of companies just don't have the money or like the reason to make wide widths. Like there's not enough demand. But some have. So let's go. Number 1, the Alden Indy, in my opinion, is the best boot for wide feet overall. In all my years of obsessively buying shoes, I've never seen as many widths offered by any brand as Alden. At least not until this week when I learned about the next entry on this list. But for the average guy with an above average amount of money, I think Alden is the best boot for wide feet. Partly because it's a brand that has famously anatomically correct sizing. The boot has a long history as an orthopedic boot. It's got long inside counters and a Thomas heel, and it's actually a favorite for guys with flat arches and other foot problems because the last is so well made and the boot is so supportive in all the right ways. It's often actually recommended by medical specialists to get yourself a pair of Alden boots if you have certain foot problems. I don't have foot problems, but I still love wearing them. They're really comfy. So the very refined last is one reason why it's the best boot for wide feet. The other is that they go really, really wide. In American sizing, D is the normal standard width for shoes, and D is all most boot brands offer. E or maybe double E is wide. If you're lucky, a brand will offer D and E or double E. You get 2 widths. The widths you can get for this boot are B, C, D, E, triple E, and quadruple E. Once in a million years, I'll see a brand that does narrow widths. That's very, very rare. This is the only boot I've seen that does quadruple E. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but 2 more things you should know about Alden is that number 1, this boot is about $550. But number 2, this is the boot that Indiana Jones wears in all of his movies. That's why it's called the Alden Indy. So it's not a cheap boot, but dude, it's Indiana Jones's boot. And it's the only quality boot I can think of if you're unlucky enough to have quadruple E feet. Number 2 on this list is Nyx. This is the toughest boot for wide feet. So Nyx is very different to Alden. Alden is very snappy, very refined. Nyx is an all-star Pacific Northwest boot company, and that's what they make really serious boots for loggers and firefighters and that kind of thing. Now, this is more a channel of boots that I think are cool as opposed to boots that are ideal for firefighting or cutting down trees. So I'm focusing on Nyx's extremely famous and beloved signature casual boot, the Urban Logger, which you can also definitely use as a work boot. With this boot, it's very customizable. You can pick the leather, of course. You can also pick how hard the toe is, the height of the shaft, and you can pick from no less than 11 widths, which start at double A and end in widths I'm pretty sure they're just making up. The widest they've got is quadruple F. So the widths go double A, B, C, D, E, double E, F, double F, triple F, and quadruple F. So look, there's no chance these boots won't fit you, and they're about the same cost as Alden's at $540. So those are the 2 boots on this list that are the widest I've ever seen, and they are also over $500. The next one is, I guess, the best value wide boot that is pretty damn wide. So that's gonna be the Thursday Captain boot. Most companies, if they do wide sizes, they'll do E, maybe they'll do double E. But what Thursday does is their standard width fits D and E. So this is their standard width, even though it looks quite narrow because it's sort of a sleek silhouette. This actually is quite roomy and it fits D and E feet. And they also have a wide fit, and their wide fit fits double E and triple E. So it's impressively wide. I've got a mate who does Olympic weightlifting, and he has bizarrely wide gorilla feet that give him a tremendously strong and stable base for lifting, and Thursday are the only boots he owns now. Now you can't get all of Thursday's models or even all of the Thursday Captains in wide widths, but you can get the classic colors, right? So the Captain is the flagship boot from Thursday Boot Company. It's far and away the most popular one, and the most popular colors are brown and terracotta. This is brown. I also own terracotta. There's also black and natural. So you can get all those in wide widths, and you can also get their rugged and resilient leathers, which extra tough oil tan leathers, in Arizona Adobe and black matte. In my experience, the brown and the Arizona Adobe are the most popular ones, and you can get them if you have wide feet, even triple E wide feet. Number 4, the best Red Wing for wide feet is the Iron Ranger. You can't talk about boots without talking about Red Wing. It was my first pair of boots, probably your first pair of boots as well. And they do have wide sizes, not for all of their boots, but if you're sad that your wide feet mean you'll miss out on one of America's most iconic boots, you'll be glad to know the flagship Iron Ranger comes in double E widths. which probably fits triple E because I find the regular D width pretty roomy given its quite bulbous toe. I don't have my Iron Ranger here because they're in Utah at Rosanville getting used in one of his videos, but I do have a ton of footage of them. So here you are, here are my Iron Rangers. It's a superb boot and you can get it in double E. Number 5, while I'm on Red Wing, I'm gonna have a section called the best mock toe for wide feet, and that is, here it is. And that's also Red Wing. Like the Red Wing Moc Toe comes in double E widths. This is my very, very first boot. It's recently resold, so I got this like very cool red thread going around here on the Goodyear welt. My Iron Rangers were actually my second pair of boots. Red Wing Moc Toes are super iconic. They're owned by Drake and Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper, and they're super cool. And you can get them in wide widths as well. So there it is, Red Wing Moc Toe, best mock toe for wide feet. Number 6, the Grant Stone Diesel Boot. Grant Stone is a company that makes what many consider Alden quality boots, but at a much lower price point. So it's not Alden quality as far as like orthopedic construction, you know, but as far as build quality and such, like it has a leather midsole and leather insole, which is something you very rarely see on lower quality boots. They have really, really tight quality control. They're really well built and they're fantastic boots at Grant Stone. They're dressier than anything else on this list thus far, and they come in D and E and triple E widths. So Red Wing only goes up to double E, these go to triple E, and these boots are only $360, and they're very much worth it. Like if they were made in America, they would definitely be over 500 bucks. So check out my video on their Chelsea boot if you want more info on their quality. I've also got their diesel boot as well, but it's in storage, and it's in a leather they don't have it in anymore, so I feel kind of weird putting it in videos these days, but I do have lots of experience with the diesel boot, very comfortable and very high quality as well. So check it out. Number 7, the best Chelsea boot for wide feet is RM Williams. I'm gonna try and go a bit faster. RM Williams is Australia's favorite boot. It's fantastic, and it comes in wide widths. But in Australia, they call normal widths G and wide H. So you can get the Comfort Craftsman, that's like the boot from RM Williams, in H width. It's not like quadruple E widths, but like RM Williams is the best Chelsea in the entire world, in my opinion. I am biased because I am Australian, even though I'm filming this in New York City. But nonetheless, it is the Chelsea to get, and you can get it in wide if you have wide feet. Number 8 is Helm. Helm is a brand that I really, really like. They're based in Austin. Their signature is this white streak you get in the sole. It's the rubber midsole. I think it looks really, really cool. And all of their boots, except for the Cole, come in double E widths. I own the Muller and the Zind and their Chelsea boot, the Holt. I've done videos on all of them. They're really cool. They're very lightweight as well because they're Blake Rapid Stitch instead of Goodyear welted. And also you can get a discount code for them. You can get 15% off if you like them. Just put Stridewise as the code at checkout and 15% off Helm boots. Like they're pretty cool, and most of them are made in America as well. Number 9, the best chucker for wide feet is Idrese, in my opinion. I think it's a pretty underrated brand. It's quite new. I've tried their sneakers and their Chelseas. I'm not a huge chucker guy myself, but I think that's because chuckers work really well in business casual environments, and I dress more casual. I've never had a job where I had to dress up, except when I was a telemarketer. God, it was a sucky job. That really sucked. But chuckers, you can get the Idrese chuckers in double E widths, and they're really, really classy. They're Goodyear welted, day-night outsole, full grain Italian leather uppers, or suede. If that's your bag, chuckers are really, really good in suede. They're neater and smarter than a lot of chuckers, in my opinion. And you can wear these in the office with confidence, I think. So yeah, Idrese, check it out. Number 10, I'm actually wearing these boots. I gotta take them off, hang on. The fanciest boots for wide feet. Viberg is the company. I wanted to finish on one of the best known boot brands among like boot purists. Viberg boots, they're typically around $700 or more. They are not cheap, but in the realm of high-end casual wear, Viberg is broadly seen as the best. Like on Reddit, on the Goodyear Welt subreddit, that's like where guys who know a lot about boots, they hang out, and like they're all like happy to pay the extra for Viberg. The clicking is really good, the quality control is really good. This is Chrome XL leather here. Pretty much any Chrome XL boot that's been worn in as much as these, they always get ugly creases on it. These don't, because Viberg's really good leather selection. There's a bunch of reasons to like Viberg. I'm gonna put an article about it in the description below. But it's like mythical quality, these boots. Their signature service boot, which I got a few years ago, when I got it, it fit D and E. There was a 20-30 last, but now they have more lasts available, and you can get this boot in D and E and double E. So that's a nice amount of precision with their widths, and double E is pretty wide at Viberg. They also have beautiful Chelsea boots and hikers and derby boots that all come in wide widths as well. So if you want the priciest casual boots you can get, why not treat yourself to Viberg? It's a pretty cool brand. All right, I've been asked to do this video for years. There it is, the 10 best boots for wide feet. I've got an article in the description below on my website where there are like, links to buy it and pictures and that kind of stuff. And I'm also gonna keep on adding to this list. So it's probably more than 10 boots for wide feet now if you click on the link below. Otherwise, I got links to buy these in the description below anyway. And that's the whole video. Make sure you subscribe. So I got a lot more boot videos, jacket videos. I got one on this jacket coming out, and bags and all kinds of heritage goods stuff coming out.